Daniel Ricciardo thought he had it all. That is until Colton Herta showed up. The American, who is the biggest threat to Ricciardo's future at McLaren, says he has some big ambitions he wants to achieve. These ambitions being becoming a Formula One driver. So the million-dollar question is he set to replace Ricciardo? Let's take a look at the deets. First up, is Ricciardo in danger? Looks like Colton Herta is really breathing life into the term stranger danger. Rumors have been mounting that Ricciardo's F1 career could be in danger with McLaren's confirmation of making long-term preparations by offering the 22-year-old IndyCar prodigy, Colton Herta, a development contract. There's still a year left before Daniel's contract expires, and the CEO of McLaren, Zak Brown, has said there's no rush. He also elaborated that it's too early to make a comment on Ricciardo's contract. However, he did confirm that they had been testing the waters with Colton and seeing where things could go. Next, we have the Formula One dream. They say that everything should be second to your dreams, and you should always aim high. Looks like that's exactly what Colton Herta has been planning. The 22-year-old has his eyes set on Formula One and says that this is an ambition he has to achieve. The young star has confessed that he's been prepping for this for a long time and wants to be an F1 driver. Doesn't matter whether it's with another team or McLaren. He still has to win the Indy 500 though. There are different races, events, and series the young dreamer will have to participate in and win if he wants to become a top F1 driver. Ricciardo also confessed that he's not allowed to reveal the date he'll be joining McLaren as it will lead to trouble, but some fans speculate that it'll be sometime in June of next year. He'll be there at McLaren's UK base for simulator training to help him prepare for the future events. He's also hoping he gets to see the factory this time around. Last year he was disappointed because he could only try the sim and not do anything else. This was in 2019, and Colton has come a long way since then. And now, a run of bad luck for Daniel Ricciardo. It seems like Ricciardo just can't catch a break these days. His future at McLaren is under question because of his poor form and rough start to the F1 season. The Australian finished 13th at the Miami Grand Prix, but his day got even worse after that. His troubles started early on when he dropped several places before settling into the race in the midfield outside of the championship point standings. The team made an error to keep him out on the track instead of pitting, and this only made things worse. Talk about a run of bad luck. It was sad to see because you'd expect nothing less from McLaren, but it seems like it just wasn't their best week, or it's just not their season to win. And as if he wasn't already down on his luck, minutes after the race ended, officials handed Ricciardo a 5-second time penalty for leaving the track and gaining an advantage. Yikes! The cruel penalty rubbed salt in the wounds for Ricciardo, who can only take comfort in the fact he finished in front of his McLaren teammate Lando Norris, who crashed out of the race. So will Herta be the first American driver in years? It doesn't seem to be going well for Ricciardo on the track, but Herta doesn't wish him anything other than the best. But he knows if the Australian's poor form continues, the door is slightly ajar for him to take his seat at McLaren. If this happens, then Herta will be the first American driver at McLaren in years. This in itself is significant news. Fans believe having an American driver on the grid represents the final frontier of F1's expansion into the US, and this would be great for the sport. Motorsport commentator Lee Diffie has said that this would be good news, not because Herta is young and talented, it's because he knows his way around and has a list of connections as well. Cambridge had signage all around the Miami Grand Prix circuit on the weekend. McLaren has offered Colton the testing program, and he has Cambridge backing him up. In other words, it's like having an insurance company who isn't afraid to sign big checks. But why would Colton replacing Daniel be good for F1? It's because now that F1 has expanded to the US and fans want someone they can cheer for. If there's an American on the McLaren team, they would win brownie points in the US. Moreover, Colton is a young racer whose dad was one as well. Since he comes from a family of racers and his dad tested a Minardi Formula One car many years ago, fans in the US are more excited than ever. Colton Herta has nothing to worry about when it comes to his future. He won the Indianapolis Grand Prix and is currently 6th overall in the IndyCar standings. Time for some related news. Starting off with McLaren CEO Zak Brown saying Ricciardo is not meeting expectations. It seems like everything is going south for Ricciardo. McLaren CEO Zak Brown has admitted that he's concerned about the Italian-Australian racer as he has not been performing well these days. It seems Ricciardo is no longer the exceptional racer we once knew him as. Daniel has been consistently outperformed by McLaren teammate Lando Norris since joining the team at the start of the 2021 season. Ricciardo joined McLaren at the start of the 2021 season with the team holding high expectations, having lured him away from Renault, who he spent just 2 campaigns with after leaving Red Bull. Having recorded 7 race wins during his time with Red Bull, Daniel appeared to get the best out of Renault, who, weirdly enough, seemed to not be that interested in racing, and sealed 2 podiums in an improved second season with the French team. It seemed that Daniel isn't comfortable with the car McLaren has provided him and is taking longer than usual adjusting to it. Zak Brown told media outlets that they're trying their level best to help him get used to the new car and adjust to the wheels. Although they say that good things take time, it seems that time is what he's running out of. With a rough start to the F1 season, there are rumors that after his contract contract ends in 2023, he will be replaced. Although McLaren has not confirmed this, the speculation is that Colton Herta will be replacing him. That is a devastating blow to Ricciardo because he finished 12th place compared to Lando, who secured 7th place. Brown compared the gap between his drivers to those at the two teams leading the World Championship, Ferrari and Red Bull. He also said that this just proves that Lando Norris is an exceptional racer, and there is no one like him. Next, we have F1 star Daniel Ricciardo on leaving bitterness and what might have beens. If there's one thing that we can learn from Daniel Ricciardo, it's that we should never hold grudges against ourselves. The superstar has been having a tough season, losing the Grand Prix, he finished 13th, and having trouble at the McLaren headquarters. But the Italian-Australian racer is still holding his head up high and hopes to bounce back. It would have been difficult to imagine Ricciardo not being the third part of that kind of championship scenario just a few years ago. His move away from Red Bull in 2019 is one of the great what-ifs of modern F1. It's just perspective, and that changes everything, Ricciardo told the media. He said that he will not let anything bring him down, and he knows his value. That's the spirit, Daniel. You show him. Finally, Daniel Ricciardo comes 13th as Red Bull's Max Verstappen wins F1 Miami Grand Prix. Trouble seems to be following the Italian-American race star everywhere it seems. The Australian was never competitive as Red Bull's Max Verstappen powered to his third victory of the season. Ricciardo, starting 14th, finished 13th after spending most of the race on his own and never really battling for a top 10 finish. After he crossed the line and was 11th in place, he was given a 5-second penalty, which hampered his chances of succeeding. This was all because of a late incident where he overtook a car while off track. Talk about harsh punishments. Yikes. Initially, he was bound to finish 17th, but got lucky as car safety and crashes allowed him to climb the order. His teammate Lando Norris crashed out on lap 41 after colliding with Pierre Gasly, compounding McLaren's difficult race. Ricciardo admitted that it was a very physically challenging race for him. As his future at McLaren comes under question, there's one thing fans want to know. Will he wait until his contract is over, or will he quit willingly? Zak Brown has said that McLaren will give him time to bounce back, but at the same time, they will have a meeting sometime this year to negotiate and converse. Well, whatever it is, we hope everything works out for Ricciardo and that the tides are in his favor. That's a wrap for this video. Do you think McLaren will replace Ricciardo with Colton Herta, or will the former be able to bounce back? Leave a comment below and let us know what you think. Please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.